So if you want to better understand some of the deepest psychological aspects of yourself based on your astrological birth chart, you're definitely going to want to look at this one thing. So hi everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm an astrotherapist, which is a licensed therapist who integrates astrology into my work with clients. So that's looking at the birth chart within the therapeutic context. It's better understanding our strengths, our weaknesses, our life path. I also look at the transits to help support people for what they're going through in the present time moment. So what is this aspect of the chart that is so psychologically informative about you? Well, if you already follow me, you know it's none other than the moon in our birth chart. So as I've said before, the moon in the birth chart represents so many different things, but for the sake of this video, we're going to talk about how the moon represents some of our deepest, well, it's like how we process emotions, right? So we need to feel safe and secure, but it's also, and this is for this video, it's also related to some of our deepest coping strategies in our life. So basically, the moon sign can show you what is the thing that you do when you feel unsafe emotionally. What is the thing you go to? What is your coping survival strategy? What is your defense mechanism? These things, clues, or part of them can be found in our moon. Now, I've already made a couple other videos on this, but there's been a request to do all of the moon signs, so I'm going to do that in this video, Aries through Pisces. So here we go. And again, the moon is many things, but for this video, we're going to focus on what is one of your oldest, deepest defense mechanisms based on your moon sign. And the other question is like, why is this even important? And I'm going to say as an astrotherapist, I think it is really valuable to understand what are your deepest and oldest survival strategies so that you can get to know this part of yourself. And not to shame it, not to try to get rid of it, okay? Because obviously we need these protective mechanisms. They were born for a reason. They were created out of trying to protect you and keep you safe. And we all need these protective parts, okay? We need things to keep us safe. And yet, a lot of the time, and this is the therapist in me, some of these protective parts that were born a long time ago, they helped us back then, but they're still living inside of us. And now as adults, they might be wreaking havoc in your life because they think that you're still in that same exact situation, perhaps. And so those protective mechanisms are maybe on overdrive, or they show up for things that aren't even like relatable to whatever they're trying to protect you from. So again, we're not shaming these things. We're not trying to get rid of them. We're actually trying to befriend them, be curious about them, have compassion for them, get to know them, understand them, make these parts feel seen, basically making your moon feel better understood, seen, valued. So you can almost like comfort your moon in these protective mechanisms, almost like you're this adult with a little child. And I will tell you, little therapy secret, the sooner you befriend these protective parts, that is when they can start to shift, okay? Because we're not trying to get rid of them, we're not trying to shame them, we're actually trying to befriend them so that we can be connected with them. And then once that connection has been formed with some of these protective parts, that's when things start to shift in your psyche. And the moon is going to give you some clues around what that part is and how to get to know it. Okay, Aries moon defense mechanisms. Maybe an Aries moon is going to just immediately move to anger as a way to protect itself from actually feeling different emotions, okay? Or maybe an Aries moon is just gonna really be on the go, distract themselves with constant new things so that they never have to stop and feel something, okay? It might also be that an Aries moon is just like really fighting for their autonomy and independence in a way that might actually be overkill and not really actually supportive. Okay, a Taurus moon's defense mechanism oldest strategy might be related to control issues. Okay, a Taurus moon is going to try to keep things the same. It's going to resist change. It's going to want to try to control things. It's going to want to try to comfort and self-soothe themselves with things that are familiar, maybe overindulging in things. And also maybe being really stubborn is also like a coping strategy for a Taurus moon. Okay, Gemini moon. Oldest survival strategy might be related to just like intellectualizing their feelings, okay? So it's like if they can put language to it, it's almost creating space from it. And I also just want to name that also like a Gemini moon needs to talk things out. So there's like there's a line between what is actually needed to soothe the moon and when it actually becomes kind of unhealthy, right? If you're just intellectualizing your feelings, then you're never going to be able to feel them, and that's an issue. Okay, a Cancer moon's oldest defense strategy might be related to defensiveness, right? If you think of the crab with the ooey gooey internal stuff with the harder shell, it's like the oldest strategy might be just like, oh, put up my armor, put up my guard, I need to protect myself, right? Also withdrawing, like if you think about a crab like hiding under a rock, that is probably related to something. If you have a Cancer moon, you might relate to this. So protecting yourself, hiding, armor, defensiveness. Okay, a Leo moon's oldest coping strategy might be related to masking their vulnerability with like a larger than life like confidence that might not be real, or they might be trying to seek validation as a way to like comfort themselves. Okay, yeah, Leo moon, there might be some pride that's getting in the way there, and again putting on some kind of front like I'm good, I'm fine. Again, that mask with like a confidence when actually there might be something really vulnerable happening underneath for them. Okay, a Virgo moon. A Virgo moon might protect by overanalyzing things or also intellectualizing things like Gemini, or even trying to control things. There can be something with a Virgo moon that wants a sense of control over something, right? And have to throw in for Virgo moon, trying to fix something. Like everything has to be fixed. Like this bad emotion, oh, I gotta fix this. I gotta do some kind of self-improvement thing or some kind of like practical act that's gonna fix away my problems, right? Rather than just actually sitting with the emotions. Okay, a Libra moon is maybe protecting themselves by, yes, you guessed it, people pleasing, avoiding conflict, right? A Libra moon is so focused on harmony, interpersonal connection. It can be really frightening to feel like there is conflict. So maybe they're gonna do some fawning, some people pleasing, and certainly avoiding conflict at all costs. Again, this isn't everybody, but this is a tendency. So something to be aware of, right? Okay, a Scorpio moon is definitely going to self-protect by like shutting down, putting up walls, right? The Scorpio moon has a lot of themes around trust. You need to earn trust with a Scorpio moon. If they feel unsafe emotionally, they're going to put up those walls, put up those boundaries, withdraw, retreat. Yeah, it's like an immediate shutdown mode. That's huge with Scorpio moon. Do you relate to this? I feel like my Scorpio moons always relate to this when I share this. Oh, also for a Scorpio moon, similar to Taurus moon, may do something for protection that is like trying to gain some sense of control, but often like emotional control, because that fear of the vulnerability is so big. Okay, so walls, boundaries, control. Sag moon. A Sag moon's protectors might obviously be related to like escaping, running off, avoidance of reality, like booking that trip, getting out of here, distracting with a new exciting adventure rather than actually like sitting with the thing or dealing with the person or the issue at hand. Capricorn moon. A Capricorn moon protective mechanism is related to, it's definitely like suppressing emotions, not giving themselves permission to have emotions, maybe even just like pushing through and feeling like they need to just work harder, tapping into self-discipline as a coping mechanism. Like, okay, if I'm feeling bad about something, like what do I have control over? I'm gonna super focus on that, whether it's work or project or just really hardcore reining in their emotions and like just be like, nope, that's not real, no space for that, we don't have permission to feel our feelings. Or just kind of like downplaying things, like being like, oh, it's not a big deal, I'm fine, I don't need to make space for myself, right? A Capricorn moon, part of their work is definitely giving themselves permission to have their emotions. Okay, Aquarius moon, definitely detachment, removing themselves, intellectualizing things, yeah, that's really big with Aquarius. And people will be like, Aquarius moon doesn't have feelings. Like, they definitely do, but their protectors are like, I'm going to detach from this. You know, I'm not going to feel it. And again, I'm going to intellectualize it so I can remove myself from actually feeling the feelings. And last but not least, Pisces moon. A Pisces moon most likely is going to isolate, retreat, again, escaping from reality. 100%. A Pisces moon is going to, they already need their alone time, but when they are feeling overwhelmed, they might like extra retreat in an unhealthy way. Too much hermityness, and then also the escapism is something to be really careful, right? Of like whether it's like addiction, but it can be anything. It can be like TV or even addicted to being alone, or maybe it is actually substances. It's like something to remove yourself from being present with things is really huge for a Pisces moon, right? Escapism. So be aware of that. Again, no judgment of these things. These are all like our old protectors. They're related to our moon sign. It makes sense. So the work is just getting to know these parts. What are they trying to protect you from? How can you connect with them? How can you give compassion and just stay curious when they pop up? That's the secret. Be curious about your psyche and the things that you notice about yourself. And I guarantee you, the things that you don't like about yourself have some kind of function that's trying to protect you. So let me know in the comments, what's your moon sign? Do you relate to these protective mechanisms? Can you befriend them? How do they show up? How do you work with them? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear what people say. Let's get into it. Moon signs.